Oh, hey, what's up?
How are you?
This is a good surprise.
Are you okay?
Just dump it. It's okay.
Did it give you anxiety, me being here?
Yeah, I was fine until I saw you walking through the door.
And then I gave you anxiety?
Yeah.
That's not even nice.
Noreen even, she mentioned it. She's like, why are you so anxious all of a sudden? And I was like, back off.
My first thought after watching this is, why am I watching this? Why exactly is this man's mental breakdown or physical disability being portrayed on the internet for everyone to see? Apparently, this woman is married to someone who suffers from multiple sclerosis. Now, multiple sclerosis is a disease that can affect your nerves. It can affect your mood. It can make you feel anxious. It can make you feel tired. It can make you have short-term memory issues. There's a slew of issues that come with this. Now, I've seen these posts pop up more and more, and I don't know if it's the algorithm or it's just simply popular. I've seen a lot of posts from this person, and apparently this wife has her husband live in an assisted living facility, and she visits him regularly. She makes content out of it, and on first impression, I didn't like her, okay? Right off rip, I did not like her. I think I still don't like her, but I'm very, very confused as to why I don't like her. And the reason why I say that is because she never really explains a lot. She doesn't have to, but she puts a lot out on the internet. And the thing that really confused me, and at first I thought she was someone who was like using her husband for clout. She kind of is, but at the same time, she also seems like a good wife where she takes him home sometimes. She goes out with him sometimes to church and films him having difficulty. And I don't know, I don't understand their dynamic. I'm very confused. To me, it comes off as someone who basically put their husband in an assisted living facility because they didn't want to deal with helping them. You know, that whole for better, for worse part. The for worse part wasn't really up to snuff. But at the same time, it may be something that they both agreed to. Obviously, the person who's there agrees to be there, and maybe it's necessary. The thing is, she never really explains it in depth. She just simply shows her husband at an assisted living facility and randomly visiting him. And the thing that confuses me the most is that whenever she goes to visit him, she's always going by herself, and she's always going unannounced. Like, she just walks in there, and the whole gimmick is supposed to be like, wow, I surprised him. Isn't that crazy?
Hi.
Get the hell out of here. Do you think you gotta come like every day?
Do you not want me to come every day?
How would you like it if you're sitting here and I just keep coming and I keep coming and I keep coming and I keep coming? How would you like that?
I would like it. You don't like it that I come to visit?
I like it.
That was funny. Thanks for the greeting.
Thanks what?
Thanks for the greeting.
Oh yeah. What did I say? I don't know.
You forgot already?
Totally forgot.
I'll play this video for you.
Right on.
Which sometimes doesn't work out well because, as you saw in that first clip, he was very anxious and felt bad because he wasn't expecting that shift in company. Now, again, I don't know the full story, but I immediately feel like this person is using their husband for content. Someone who essentially just puts their husband in a living assisted facility. They stay there. They work, they go home, they do whatever they want, and then when they're like, you know what, I'm a little bored, I feel like I need a little bit of content for the gram, because this is under the guise of, oh, look how bad multiple sclerosis is, look how great this is, I'm sharing my life with everyone. And then she just randomly shows up, randomly starts filming, and then randomly makes him either go to the house with her. I guess that's something that's more planned as opposed to just showing up, or they go and walk around or talk. And the thing to me that's so odd is that whenever you see this video, the chemistry between the two is almost like strangers. Like, dude feels to me like he's not trying to bother her or come off as someone who's unlikable. Like, he's always trying to smile. He's always trying to be extra jolly. It doesn't seem like they even really talk over the phone that much, because whenever she shows up, there's not much of a continuation of a conversation. It's more like, I did this, this happened. Oh boy, you should have seen what happened since the last time you were here. And every time I see bro, he's like sitting on the couch, relaxing, either listening to music or just sitting there. And I just think to myself, I don't know the full picture. I only see what's being presented to me. But I feel like he's literally just sat in a assisted living facility, sitting there all day. and randomly his wife will show up, and that may or may not be a highlight of his day. And then from that point, I guess the highlight would be him seeing his family. And again, I don't know why his family doesn't want to go see him, or rather he goes to see his family. I don't understand why he can't just stay in the house. Whenever I see videos, I understand that he needs help with a walker, and I understand that he might feel anxious, but how exactly is that better at an assisted living facility as opposed to your own home? I can't help but judge this couple, and especially judge this woman, because all I've seen is just weird clout chasing videos, weird emphasis on his disability. I don't know this guy's name. I have no idea who he is. I don't know what career he had before this. There's no like story of saying, my name is Mike, I used to work at this company for this many years, then one day I felt sick and I decided it would be best for me and my family to go to this assisted living facility. Like, there's no context given. And I understand this is the internet. You don't got to give me your life story. But if you're giving me A, B, D, G, and everything else, give me C. Give me C. Give me the full picture. Give me the whole alphabet. Because right now, I just see random snippets of these people's lives. I see this poor man sitting in a locked cell like Saddam Hussein, who gets pulled out of his cell just to take pictures and be paraded around Instagram. And I have no idea what dude is about. There's no information about him. And in my opinion, he doesn't really seem like someone who wants to spread awareness or spread this message, because it's only his wife posting. It's not like it's his account and she helps out. She just randomly shows up, shoves the camera in his face, and then homie goes back to living in his lonesome, finally alone and quiet, away from her. So I don't feel like it's necessarily something that he wants. It's not something that he promotes. And I would imagine that if he's feeling sick or feeling bad, he doesn't want to be filmed doing that. But his wife really doesn't care, because she already has him locked away in Guantanamo and only visits him on the weekend.
6 years ago, my husband was not acting like himself, and he started having really bad anxiety attacks and really bad depression, and he became pretty mentally unstable, to say the least. All of that was so out of character for him. He was so outgoing, and he never had anxiety or depression at all. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and we were going from doctor to doctor trying to figure out what was wrong, and no one had an answer for us. We were in emergency mode every day, multiple times a day, trying to keep him mentally stable. I started noticing his memory was not so great. I would have a conversation with him in the morning, I would bring it up to him in the afternoon, and he couldn't recall what we had even talked about. There was this one time we were driving in the car, and I showed him this song, and he was like, I really like this song, I've never heard it before. And I was like, oh yeah, it's super cool. A couple of days later, we were driving in the car again, and I played that song again, and he said, I really like this song, I've never heard it before. And I was like, I just showed it to you a couple of days ago. You don't remember? I showed him that song 2 more times that week, and he gave the same response both times and said, I really like that song. I've never heard it before. On that last time that he said that, I just stared at him and was thinking, something is seriously wrong, and I need to get to the bottom of this. Over the next couple of weeks, I talked to a bunch of medical professionals and called the psychiatric hospital, asking them their opinion on what I should do. They said, why don't you bring him in and we'll see if we need to admit him. Sure enough.
So this is the most information that's provided on this Instagram account. It kind of gives an idea of how this person became sicker and felt worse, and over time eventually evolved to them living in assisted living as opposed to living at home. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that I'm not trying to judge this person and indict them. It is very weird, it is very odd, it is very dislikable, the content that I see. But at the same time, I don't think it merits the response that a lot of Instagram comments have made. But then again, it's Instagram. It's like Call of Duty Modern Warfare lobbies on there. They'd be saying crazy stuff in the comment section. There's a lot of positive videos. Well, not really a lot. There's a handful I've seen where basically this person goes out for dinner. There's a couple of grab-ass videos, literally. And it seems to me like it's not something that is completely negative and completely an abusive relationship. It just comes off as very cheap and gimmicky and very clout chasing, where these videos are presented in a way where this person who doesn't feel good is pretty much not aware of being filmed at most times, and that is the content that is being created. I think it's a little weird. I don't think this person necessarily has to provide an explanation, but without a concise explanation or a little bit of a context, there's nothing left but room for judgment, and the judgment doesn't look too great.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!